Hello, my wonderful learners. Welcome to another activity in today's lesson. We will be looking at living things and non-living things. Living things and non-living things in plants and animals. Let's quickly look at our objectives. We are looking at what? We are learning to explain living and non-living things, give examples of each, and also be able to what? Identify the life process in organism, or the difference between living things and non-living things. I said what? To be able to explain living things and non-living things, give examples of each, and also identify the life process of living organism, or the difference between living things and non-living things. Now you've learned a lot about these living things. When someone asks you what are living things, you should be able to tell the person living things are things which have what? Life in them. Things which have life in them, or they perform life process. They perform life processes. Do you get it? I said what? They perform life processes. Alright, let's look at some examples of living things. Sometimes you realize that we have been seeing this, but we don't know whether it is this a living thing or non-living thing. Today we are going to differentiate between this and that as what? Living or non-living thing. Now we have baby, goat, ant, hen, cat, butterfly, fish, dog, among others. Alright, you can also give more examples at home. Look at your environment. We have a lot of living things around you. These are some few examples of living things. Let's quickly look at non-living things. We said non-living things are things that do not have life in them, or they are things that cannot what? Perform life processes. They are things that cannot perform life processes. Let's look at some examples of these non-living things. We have book, wood, building, ball, spoon, pencil, eraser, television, chair. Sorry, this is table, chair, bowl, among others. We have a lot of non-living things at home. You realize that non-living things are things that cannot move because they don't have life in them. They cannot perform life processes. So these are some few examples of what? Non-living things. Let's quickly look at the life processes in organisms, or life process in organism, or the difference between. If you are not asked this question, you will be asked this, and they are the same. You will not learn this and tell me, say, we were not taught this. Take note. That's why I've written both on the board. Life process in organisms, or difference between living things and non-living things. We have one, nutrition. Nutrition. They are able to what? Eat, feed themselves. We have respiration, reproduction, movement, expression, growth, irritability. Let's take them again. Nutrition. One, they are able to what? Feed themselves. Either if they feed themselves or somebody feed them, still they feed them. It's all about nutrition. They eat. Respiration. Respiration. They breathe. Look at me. What am I doing? I'm breathing. So let's continue. Reproduction. Reproduction. We learned in our previous lesson that living things reproduce in two main ways, either by laying eggs or by giving birth. That is talking about reproduction. Now let's look at movement. Movement. Look at me. What am I doing? I'm walking. I can move from one place to another, moving from this particular point to another. I'm moving. Yes. Now, excretion. What do we mean by excretion? They are able to remove their waste, or yes, for instance, the excretion can be the sweat or the phases that they pass. Look at groove. Groove, for instance. Groove. Your mother gave birth to a younger baby boy or baby girl. 6 months later, you realize that the baby has grown to a certain stage. 5 years later, the baby has grown to a certain stage. And look at the stage, your current stage. Even use yourself as example. Growth. The time you were giving birth to, you were very young, but look at your level now, the stage now. So let's look at the last point. Irritability. They are very sensitive to motion, sensitive to things. For instance, when I touch you like this, you know that I've touched you. Somebody touched. Who touched me? Okay, it's you. When I beat you, you feel the pain. When I pinch you, you feel the pain. That is what we refer to as irritability. Let's quickly go through what we have. All of you, life process in organism. Again, or difference between living things and non-living things. Again, all right. 1. Nutrition, respiration, reproduction, movement, excretion, growth, irritability. Yes, I will ask you a lot of questions on this very test. Keep reading through. Be safe. Bye-bye.